You know about AI and how companies implement it. What are the biggest mistakes you're seeing from companies at the moment?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's twofold, right? I think the first one is thinking that AI is going to be the cure-all to your business. AI is a fantastic tool. It is a game changer, but it's not going to solve every problem your business has, and neither should it. It shouldn't be there to get rid of staff, and AI should enhance what you do, not be the only thing you do. And I think the second thing, and probably more importantly, is people go in with bad data and think that AI is going to solve it.
I think that's a fundamental thing, and that whole concept of garbage in, garbage out, and people don't, or you just enable AI and it goes off and someone says, "What's the CEO's salary?" Because you haven't got the right access controls in place, all of this kind of thing. But the fundamentals. It starts with the data.
100%. Look, it's the same with any transformation project you're doing, right? I work in the accounting tech space, and there's some fantastic technology out there that's going to help you implement new ways of working, new profit centers, new everything. But it all is underpinned by the data. If your core data isn't good, then the outcome you're going to get with any technology, and especially with AI, is going to be super limited.
Yeah, I agree. And it seems with AI, we're forgetting the business and IT fundamentals that we've had for decades. And we're like, we're not looking at governance, we're not looking at data quality, we're just like, oh, this super shiny thing must implement today.
Look, I mean, this isn't new, right? It was the same with cloud, it was the same with the internet. Every generational change in a business goes the same way. You overinvest in it, you put all your hopes and prayers in it being the solution to everything. You realise it doesn't, you dial it back, you find that middle ground that is that right balance, and then you build on that. And I think the only difference with AI is AI fundamentally, if what you're doing isn't underpinned by good data, isn't underpinned by good governance, isn't underpinned by good strategy, AI will eat every single one of them for breakfast.
And as you said, you work at Sage, you're in accountancy software. Good data is fundamental when it comes to accountancy.
100%.
It's
right?
like critical because of the implications if your data is not good when it comes to accountancy.
And imagine, we're in a world now where as we record this, MTD, Making Tax Digital, for income tax is a thing, right? It's the legislation's now officially landed. That now requires every SME with a turnover of over 50 grand to have digital records, quarterly record keeping. That's great, right? Because in theory, that should mean that the data is better. It should mean that actually the accounting data is going to get better and better and stronger and stronger and stronger. The reality of it is, as we record this, the HMRC numbers are still massively below where they need to be for adoption, which means people are going to rush, which means that again, you're just going to have that lag of the problem. So data is critical. Whatever industry you work in, be it accounting or finance, technology, whatever it is, the underpinning data is key. You need to put the investment in that before you invest heavily in the AI, because actually, it's like building a house, right? You build those really strong foundations and you build on top. When you build in a floodplain with a bad new build company that's just out to make a profit, guess what? The house is probably going to collapse in 5 years' time. And that's what a lot of people are building with AI. And the worst thing is they're using it to get rid of staff or cut numbers or make shortcuts.
Yeah, we've seen some very large companies, which we're not going to name, but they're in the public domain. You can find them for yourself. They're replacing, cutting staff because they've gambled on AI and building AI data centers, which are not happening at the moment. So yeah, I've always been of the opinion that AI should amplify what we do, not replace us.
Yeah, look, like anything, right? I think Microsoft nailed it when they built theirs and called it copilot.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. It's the best way to look at AI is a copilot. It is, you wouldn't want an AI flying your plane.
No.
But actually, an AI that informs the decisions that the pilot makes is probably not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you fly around, statistically, if you fly around here, you're going to avoid that level of disturbance, which means actually you can be more efficient with it. Whatever that is, right? I'm clearly not a pilot.
Yeah.
But like to be your co-pilot and guide you, fantastic. If I got on a plane and ChatGPT came over and said, I am your pilot today and I'll be taking you to somewhere, I mean, I would be off before we even got to the end of the runway.
Well, I was doing a LinkedIn post and I said I'm going to be doing attending sessions in London and Berlin, and they did not draw the cities where Berlin and London are. I think London was in France, Dublin was, I can't even remember where Dublin was, and then Berlin was somewhere else. So it's not, exactly. I would not be giving ChatGPT or any kind of AI control of the plane because, geography and it don't really work.
Yeah.
But I suppose I said the city. If I had said, given it the longitude and latitude of where Dublin is and where Berlin is and London, it can interpret that
but
data.
Hey, you know, so one of the things I've learned with AI over the years of using it is the devil's in the detail, right? So how you describe something is really important. I want to fly to Paris. To me, it's a relatively simple term.
Yeah.
To AI, could mean something completely different.
Exactly.
Right?
Whereas I want to fly to longitude, latitude, blah, blah, blah.
In a plane. Which has fuel.
Yes.
Which has a safety rating, which has other pilots on the plane that can enable me to get there.
Yeah.
Now make that happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's that difference in complexity of what you're asking. And AI is still, you know, as smart as and intelligent as it is, AI is clearly going to be more intelligent than humans.
Yes.
But unfortunately, at the moment, it's the humans doing the inputting to the AI and outputting the data.
Exactly. Like, you know, at the moment, if I interact with an AI, it's, you know, very American. And I've had to train it to go, stop talking like a California tech bro, because that's not how I speak.
I know, that's how I speak. That's how.
Yeah.
But you think about like an engine in a car, right? Is fundamentally an amazing bit of kit. And an engine will never blow up on itself in a car.
Yeah.
It blows up because we as humans push it too far, or we don't nurture it correctly, we don't service it, we don't look after it, and then the engine blows up, right? The engine will never blow up on its own.
No,
so the
that's true.
human is fundamentally the reason why these things go wrong, and the core challenge of AI at the moment is it's human-led.
Yeah.
Now, as we get into agentic AI, and we're starting to train AI to do tasks, routines, and things for us, fantastic. But it's still a human defining. So we're still the flaw.
Yeah. But I think, you know, as you mentioned with the agentic AI, is like what you'd find is, you know, even if you have a documented process, people deviate from that process. So if you've only taught the AI the standard process, but there's actually a deviation or a step missing, that's when the agent fails, not because of...
No, and by the way, every process has that, right? There is not a process for any, even the most strict and rigid process has a deviation at some point because someone has gone, actually that process doesn't work for me, or that doesn't go in the same way. So actually I need to deviate. It might be a small deviation, might be a large deviation, but every process has that. So like you've then got to kind of train it on deviation, and then you've got to worry about drift and actually to go, oh, actually that's better for everyone. Well, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So look, I think AI is fantastic. I think AI is genuinely and fundamentally going to change the way we do things. And in fact, I use it. I was using it downstairs in between talks.
I saw you
today. And what I was doing was I'd written a report. I'm dyslexic. So I have some challenge, not badly, but I have some challenges around that. So I utilize AI to make sure that what I've written works, and to take out repetition and to rephrase anything that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't ask it to rewrite it or write it. I ask it to enhance it. The challenge with that is sometimes it just goes rogue and does what it wants and completely changes stuff, and it comes out sounding like a Californian tech rogue. And then I give it to my boss, and they go, oh, "Did you write this with AI?" It's like, "No, I wrote it, but AI has made it now sound like AI." Look, at Sage, one of the core principles that we work with is AI is a copilot, right? So when you're doing stuff, even with our agentic workflows. It's all based around the concept of the accountant has final approval, the accountant has final say.
Yeah, that's always been kind of my thing. Like, I come from a tech infrastructure background, so like AI agents taking actions is not high on my kind of list of priorities at the moment, you know, because if we think about it as most fundamental level, if you say to an AI, said, run this server the most efficient way, what's he going to do? He's going to kick the users off it. If it's like a multi-user, say a Citrix or something, that kind of environment, it's going to kick the users off. So that's not the right way to run it, because you want the users to be productive, and So I think with agentic AI, it's very much kind of at its early stages, and that human in the loop, while we've talked it as a flaw sometimes, is actually an advantage as well.
It's the stopgap.
It's a kind of a paradox.
I think it's the stopgap as well, right? We are the emergency switch. We can go, no, that's not working, and I think that should. I think I would question any software vendor, any software builder that's building something to be completely without human interaction.
Yeah.
Because
it's like if you give me a self-driving car, I want the ability to turn that off.
Yeah, here's a self-driving car, and by the way, it has no accelerator and no brake. No thanks.
No thank you.
No thank you.
Absolutely.
Look, there are certain self-driving cars out there. I wouldn't trust you to the person that built them, let alone.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and me and my co-host, and people will have seen on previous episodes. We've talked about this, and I still think we're quite a long way off self-driving cars, because fundamentally humans are irrational when it comes to driving cars.
Yep.
I've seen people do things that are not logical, and AI is logical in how it approaches things. Humans are not, and I will argue this point. It's kind of my, it's one of those things I'm fundamentally against, is this. In concept, at some stage, yes, it will get there, but we even talked to someone on a previous episode, and he works in the and he's doing stuff with autonomous driving, and he said the reason it's so complicated is there's so many variables.
Yeah.
Because we came in earlier on, the sun was shining. Now outside it's raining, so an AI has to adapt to that.
Oh, blimey, it's raining as well.
Yeah. So these are just two factors. The light has probably changed, whereas our brains can work all of that out. The AI, it takes, that's a whole process for it.
I think it's a fascinating point, right? Like the AI can be, if every car on the road was driven was self-driving with learning AI, there would never be a crash.
No.
The moment you put one human car on the road, it throws everything out, because the variables are huge.
Yeah.
So many different variables. Like, I drive my car very differently to the way my wife drives her car, right? Very differently.
Yeah. Me and my wife share a car, and we drive very differently.
Yeah, and I have things that I know I'm good at, and I have things that I know I'm bad at. I know that in certain instances, my attention starts to drift a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm stuck in stop-and-go traffic, there's a very good chance I'm almost crashing into the car in front of me at least 3 or 4 times.
My wife won't. She prefers reversing into a car parking space. I'll drive straight in.
Yeah, and it's things like that, right? Like the human element throws so many spanners into the works, because humans are unpredictable.
Yeah.
Right? But computers aren't. So if every car was a Johnny Cab from Total Recall, right? We'd be laughing. But sadly, we're a long way off that. Because you're going to have to convince people to not have, or just have self-driving lanes and non-self-driving lanes that are ring-fenced, by the way. So one, you can't steer into one or the other. Because again, otherwise the human element is always going to throw something off.
The problem is our roads are not designed for that. Like, especially in
they're barely designed for cars.
Well, exactly. Yeah. There's definitely roads in parts of Ireland where it's barely passable by a car, let alone. Because I know, even because my car is a Korean brand, and it does that whole thing where you have to basically, on some roads drive in a hedge, and it's beeping at me because I've gone over the solid line. It wasn't designed with these roads in the same way.
No, not at all. It's really tough because, and I think inherently this is where the AI conversation is fascinating, because like there is a very large accountancy firm that said, actually, we're going to bring in less graduates because of AI. And I'm like, no, I'd flip that, because the graduates are the people that understand the technology, therefore know how to use it, therefore are going to enable you to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
The problem in businesses are the people that have been there 100 years that don't know how to embrace it, right? If you're utilizing AI as a way to bring in less graduates or less like junior staff, actually that's really bad, because what you're doing is taking out that amazing view of how to use a piece of technology. Because I don't want to like be shown how to use technology by people that have been in a business for 40 years. So I think there's so many different elements that with AI you have to consider, you have to think about, that have an impact, which is why conferences like we're at today is really fascinating. Because just this morning there were such different viewpoints on different elements of AI, and different elements of how it's going to touch your business. It's more than just a technological touch. It's a governance touch. It's a human touch.
I think that's the thing that's different now about AI is we've had cloud, all that kind of stuff, but the difference is AI, and it's like an octopus. It affects everything.
Yeah.
It's so. There's people outside, my own parents know what AI is, whereas if you ask them what I did, they probably would say he works with computers.
It's exactly that, right? Like, AI is an octopus, and it does touch every element of a business. And every element of a business touches AI, which is also weird, because that's not been strictly true. And I think, like, there was a great session that we listened to today around compliance, and one of the biggest challenges I see is where businesses have really strict AI policies, people still use the AI that they want anyway.
Exactly. Like in the company I work for, we very much were like, here are the guidelines, not we're stopping you using that model or that, because, the horse is already bolted. Everyone's using it. So if you're in an organization that said nobody's using AI because we prohibited it, it's like, yes, they are. They've got phones. Of course they're using AI.
They've got phones, they've got home computers, they've got workarounds.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Like, it's inevitable that people will use it because it gives a competitive advantage. And it's great for time saving.
Yeah. No,
it genuinely is. Like I genuinely, proofreading my own work, it's a nightmare. Getting AI to do it for me and suggest changes, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think AI is a really, really good tool. But it asks more questions at the moment than it answers. And we think we've got all the answers to those questions, but we don't.
So, to kind of sum up, what do you think, is there any kind of component within AI that people are missing at the moment?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I think AI is far-reaching. I think the problem is, like any software tools, you have 38 AI tools in your business. Every bit of software has an AI tool.
I think there's, if I'm right, there's now 78 copilots, and the majority of them can't talk to each other.
Yeah, and if you imagine you've got 10 bits of core technology.
Yeah.
Each one of them will have AI baked in.
Yeah.
But none of them are talking to each other.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's the same problem that I think has existed in businesses for years. That you've got amazing technology doing amazing things, but in silos.
Yeah.
And actually what I want to see is that piece of AI that sits above the AIs, which in itself is a scary thought, right?
Yeah,
but that bit of AI that sits above the AI that actually enables you to connect it all together. Because that's when you have power. That's when you can really, when you can pull stuff from Teams, from from Monday.com, from LinkedIn, from whatever, and you can put it all into one place.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, that's what's missing at the moment. And I know like ChatGPT, Claude, all that want to try and be that, but they're not there. And as all these software businesses carry on developing their own AI and their own working in silos, you're losing the power of what AI could truly be.
Yeah.
If you could find a way to kind of net it all together.
So MCP is kind of where we're at with that kind of thing at the moment in terms of connecting multiple things, but you're looking for an AI above that to kind of filter everything.
Yeah, I think, look, I want to go in the morning and have one piece of AI giving me what my tasks are, what I need to respond to, what I've missed, where my software, pull my jobs from Monday.com, pull my leads from Salesforce, put all that together and actually say, look, this is your day, and I've booked you an hour here so you can do these 5 sales calls, because I know your sales calls take on average 10 minutes.
So what you're essentially looking for is a personal AI agent that
nets it all together and enables me to be my best efficient self. Because again, the problem with efficiency is humans.
Yes.
We are the least efficient creatures on the planet.
Well, we need 7 to 8 hours of sleep for a start. An AI agent doesn't.
And also, we like human contact. We like to talk to people. We like to spend a bit longer. We overanalyze a Teams message if our boss says something to us, and we're like, "Shit, is that? How did they mean that?" Like, actually, if you've got something that pulls all that together and gives you that kind of structured, and like analyzes everything you do and is constantly with you all day, every meeting you have, it analyzes it, be it internal, external, tells you how to do it better, it coaches you, it like tells you to take breaks. It knows when you're getting tired.
Oh, wow.
Because your keystrokes are getting less. And you're becoming less efficient, right? So it said, actually, if you take a 10-minute break...
it sees you picking up your phone and scrolling or something. Right?
Like I'm not talking like... It sounds a bit big brothery, right? But actually, if you can do that, then you can make... Then AI makes humans more efficient, which makes the business more efficient, which makes the technology important, but still keeps that human level. Because actually... This would be a really boring podcast if it was AI talking to AI, right?
No, I've said this already in an episode earlier today. An AI avatar is not going to be replacing me anytime soon on the podcast, because the podcast is all about talking human to human and having a conversation. Phil, I think that's a really good place. So that's what we want. We want AI to amplify, assist us, but not replace us.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure.